Before having a good job, first of all, the requirement is to have a job. I think for any professional, it is very important to understand three things. First is basically you have to understand the product or service which you are, let us say, trying to sell. Second thing which you need to understand is actually your customers. And third thing is basically your competitions. And we have to realize this one fact in life that life is all about mistakes. I mean, if you don't make mistakes, it means that you are not doing anything new. If you are not doing anything new, it means that your learning process is not happening.
Myself, Gaurav Garg, and we welcome all our viewers to our show Amazing Mentor. Today with us is Mr. Sandeep Ruhelia. He is business manager with 10 plus years of experience in corporate strategy, strategic planning, business transformation, internal consulting, product and brand strategy, sales strategy, and market research. He is a natural team player, motivator, storyteller, and a leader who can bring the entire team for a cause. For that matter, currently he is involved with corporate strategy and business planning, wherein looking to improve current business and find avenues for growth. It's a pleasure to welcome Mr. Sandeep to our show. Welcome, Mr. Sandeep.
Thank you so much. I also feel privileged to be on this platform. Thank you.
So tell us about your childhood and hobbies you enjoy as a child.
So very nice questions. If I go back to my childhood, I think it would be similar to any other kid in 1990s. So at that time, mobile phones were not there. Television also, you got to watch only couple of channels. So I think childhood was more about playing outside. So I cherish my memories of playing outside. And actually, I spent a lot of time with my friends playing cricket. So this is what I actually remember from my childhood. And as far as my hobbies are concerned, so I have always been guy who likes to be outside. So I mean, in childhood, it was more about playing outside. These days, like I like traveling, I like trekking.
So what about your schooling? Where did you completed your schooling from?
So I come from Faridabad. Till 10th, I was in a small school. Then I changed my school from 11 class onwards. So I remember this stark difference in my schools. One school was one like mediocre average size school, and suddenly I went to the other big school, Geeta Balniketan, and then suddenly I got exposed to so many kids, so many sports, a lot of things.
So any childhood memory, naughtiest memory that you remember till date?
Any memory has to come from playing days only. So I actually remember I once got selected for school district level cricket team. So that was memory which I cherish till today because cricket has always been very close to my heart.
So were you an extrovert or introvert child?
I was an introvert child. I remember I was very, very shy. In fact, let us say, even if a relative or a stranger coming to our home, I will not just move out of my room. And my parents would be pushing me out that, okay, go outside and talk. So I was an introvert guy. Even in schools, my circle was very, very closely knit, like only 3, 4 friends with whom I would be talking, I would be playing.
So as a child, what was your dream profession that I need to be this when I grow up?
So as a child, I think during those days, kids were not that smart. So I was also not that smart in terms of actually figuring out what do I want to do as a profession in my life. But one thing which I wanted to be was actually cricketers.
So how and where did your professional journey started?
I kind of started very small with a company called Thomson Press India Limited. It is based out of Faridabad only. It is part of India Today Group. So I was there working as a customer support representative. Then I kind of worked there for almost a year and then I kind of moved to Gurgaon. I started working in a international BPO by the name Converges India Limited. But while I was working, I kind of started thinking that I need to do higher graduation. So I then went and did MBA. So after MBA, then I joined Escorts as a management trainee in 2010. So that's how my professional career actually started, pre-MBA and post-MBA.
So what all challenges did you face while starting your career journey?
I mean, I have shared about my pre-MBA days that, okay, these were reasonably okay kind of jobs. and that's why I actually went and did MBA. But unfortunately, 2009 recession actually happened. So I joined MBA in 2008-10 batch, and this global recession actually happened in 2009, and it was in its peak in 2010. So suddenly it was very tough time because we were expecting good placements in the corporate, we were expecting good salary packages, and then suddenly there were no jobs at all, right? So it was really tough time. But somehow then I got a job in Escort. So right starting from day one, I think the challenge was to first get a job. So we realized, I mean, not just me, but many of my batchmates, peer circle, everybody realized that before having a good job, first of all, the requirement is to have a job, because ultimately you don't want to sit at home, you want to start, right? So that's where I started. And when I joined Escorts, I kind of want to share that academics is very different from corporate. So let us say whatever we study, it definitely has a lot of application in corporate world, but not in the similar form the way we read it. So my challenges actually started very early in my job. I kind of joined a product management department, and Escorts being a tractor company, we kind of manufacture tractors, so it's an engineering product, right? And I was in product department, and my background is not engineering, so I had tough time understanding about the product itself. And then I realized that okay, I need to first do maybe my mini BTech in engineering. So I kind of started studying about engines, transmissions, how tractor works. I remember I used to go to one website on internet, how stuff works. So this is a website from Discovery, and there you could find out like how various stuff works, how things work. So I remember spending hours and hours knowing about how engine works, how transmission works, and then I kind of would use that knowledge in my daily work. But then it was tough time initial couple of years. I built familiarity with the product, with the customer, with the culture of the organization, and then after that there is no looking back.
So you have 12 plus years of experience now. So how is your journey till date?
This journey has been mixed. If somebody would look at my profile, in 12 years, probably I'm kind of working in 8th or 9th different functions. So as I shared, I started my career with product management. Then I kind of shifted to brand management. I became a brand manager. From there, then I actually started working on sales strategy, from sales strategy to business transformation. And from there, then I actually started working on a small startup project within the organization, kind of worked on that for 1.5 years. And then I joined corporate strategy. And right now I am kind of leading this function for the organization. So I think it's a very, very different journey than, let us say, I would see for many other people. Usually people build expertise in one kind of a function, or maybe two kind of a function maximum in 10-12 years. But for me, it's been a roller coaster ride. So whatever opportunities I continue to get in the organization, I kind of continue to absorb those as the potential opportunities to learn. And that's how basically my journey.
So what all are your learning till date?
As far as professional life is concerned, I think that for any professional, it is very important to understand three things. First is basically you have to understand the product or service which you are, let us say, trying to sell. Second thing which you need to understand is actually your customers. And third thing is basically, because in the environment, you are not alone. There are other people who are trying to sell and outsmart you. So it's your competitions. So I think I kind of put my learning into these three buckets. In different roles, I kind of got opportunity to learn about customers. Our customers are farmers. So I remember initially traveling 6-7 years of my career in the various parts of the country. I have stayed with farmers. I have lived like a farmer. because I kind of wanted to understand their lifestyle, their psychology behind buying whatever they are buying. So that's where I actually learned about my customer. And then once you are out in the field, you inevitably meet competition customers as well, and from them you kind of get to know their motive of why they are buying competition products. And then you also kind of, once you are in any industry for more than 10 years, you kind of get huge network across your various companies in the industry, because I would say that our industry is not that big, so we kind of know many people who kind of continue to move from one company to other company, and that's how you kind of get to know about your competition as well. It is very important that you also understand the culture of your own organization, because culture actually ensures that what will work and what will not work. So I think these are the three things which I learned.
So, what's the opinion of your team about you as a boss?
I think it's a nice question. So I have asked many a times, because I always care for feedback. So as far as my team is concerned, they actually find me very, very critical about work. So they call me, I'm a perfectionist, and I kind of sometimes very pushy for timelines, deadlines, because I always want to be delivering as per the timelines. Having said that, many a times I kind of, discuss a lot of other aspects as well with them, which is more about how to manage work, how to manage life, how to do stress management, or how to do many other things which I also do in my life. Like I like to read, I like to write, I like to travel, I do trekking. So I continue to share my experience. So that's how they feel that I'm on one side I'm perfectionist, very pushy for deadline. On the other side, I have this attitude of making environment light and kind of telling them a lot of stuff about life as well in general.
So, what are the area you want to improve on?
I think improvement is one thing which is a continuous process. So I cannot say that whatever I have learned in last 10 or 12 years, I have kind of become perfect, because as I was sharing with you, I mean, I have continued to change my profiles within the organization. So for delivering in any new profile, you need to learn new skills. Right. So for me, I think area of improvement is actually this world is changing very fast. Right. So I continue to learn new things about my customer, the kind of technologies which are available in our industry, even the tools and methodologies which, let us say, we use for delivering our work. So it's a continuous process. Like our organization had a joint venture with a Japanese company. So I kind of now working with many Japanese people. And then I realized that Japanese people are really good in planning process. So they kind of spend their 70-80% time in doing the very detailed planning. And after that, execution is very simple. So I mean, I learned this planning process from them, and I'm kind of inculcating it in my own behavior. So I think life is a learning process, and every day you need to improve. Once I joined in 2010, I mean, people were not that data savvy or digital savvy. And suddenly in 10 years, I think world has changed upside down. And I feel that whosoever new person is coming is very savvy about digital and data. Right. And this is one thing which feel that is my weakness, but it will not remain weakness for very long. I will immediately do something. And
So, what about your strength?
so strength is also one thing which I would say that never remains constant. You could be having one strength at one point in time in your career, but the moment environment changes, like for me, if I have shifted to a new profile, so whatever strength I had may not remain a strength. So, I mean, I would say that if it is about subject matter knowledge, then you can say that, okay, you know about technology, you know about processes, you know about something or other. But when it is about knowing about certain other softer aspects like leadership, team management, or let us say work management skills, so these are the things which kind of remain constant. So I would say that I have developed very good leadership style of my own. Then I also have a very pretty good well managed work management skills. So I think these are the behavioral traits, I call them. So these are my strengths.
Do you have any mentor in your life?
I have actually many mentors in my life. In the initial phase of my career, we faced recession. There was always this uncertainty in professional career. like what do I really want to do, what do I really want to become, do I want to become a marketing head, do I want to become a strategy head. So I kind of always had these questions. So I kind of made a couple of mentors from my college days. So our college organization behavior professor, I asked him to become my mentor and then he agreed. So initial 2-3 years of my professional journey, he helped me a lot. Other than him, then I have a couple of more mentors from the industry. So I kind of met one lady and I found her on LinkedIn. So I realized that she had a very eventful career. So I was very, very inspired by her career progression and everything. So I approached her on LinkedIn and that's how we started conversing. And then I finally met her as well. And that's how kind of started discussing a lot of professional decisions with her. Other than her, one of our erstwhile CEO of the company, so he's also one of the mentor I have, and I am very fortunate to have him. And my current mentor is a follower of Art of War. In fact, has written a book on that.
So according to you, what's the definition of client?
I'll share one example with you. I just to tell like how different people feel different about the customer. Once I was on a field visit in Andhra Pradesh. So there is a location in Andhra Pradesh by the name Kadapa. It's near Tirupati, the famous temple of Tirupati. So it's a district nearby that. And I kind of went to meet the channel partner there. I kind of visited his showroom and I wanted to meet him. So I kept on waiting outside for 2-3 hours and he was actually busy in his cabin. So I didn't know like I'm a company official and he's still not either coming outside to meet me or not asking me to come inside and have conversation with me. So after 2 hours almost, then he called me inside and then he told me that first of all he apologized that he made me wait for so long, and then he told that actually I was with my customers and I was kind of hearing their issues, so it took me so much of time. And then suddenly behind his seat, I actually had a look at one of the verbatim which he had written, customer is God. Right. So for him, customer is actually God. So this is one definition. On the other side, when I visited several other distributors and channel partners, I found them, they have no time to meet their own customers. So either they are executives or they are other people are actually sales manager kind of people are meeting the customer. So there is a huge difference in the definition of customer for everybody. So my definition has basically come from this one distributor. For him, customer is actually God. So for me, my client is God because only because of him, I'm kind of getting business. And because of that business, let us say my organization is working. So I think if we make our objective very clear that we exist for our customers' needs to fulfill them, to deliver them in a much better manner, then every company will actually grow.
So what are your roles and responsibility as head growth strategy at Escort Limited?
I think strategy by the name, it means that you have to create something for future, something for future, right? So my role here is to basically envision future for Escorts. I kind of need to think how industry is changing, how customer is changing, and for this changing need, what kind of new products, let us say, we need to bring, new services we need to bring. So this is one part, like for existing business, how do you grow? On the other side, since environment is changing very fast, so there are always numerous opportunities which basically come to you as a new opportunity. So your today's business may not be targeting those opportunities, but you have to create a completely different or new business model to kind of utilize these new opportunities. So I kind of continue to look around for new business models or new business opportunities as well, where let us say my company can grow. So I kind of work on midterm strategy for the organization, which is more about next 3-4 years of growth of business. Beyond that, I also kind of work on the vision of the organization. Vision is more about the strategic shift. Let us say today you are a tractor company, tomorrow you want to become something else. So identifying those opportunities and creating an environment in the organization to utilize these opportunities for future growth.
So any decision or action you regret in your career?
When you are in that moment, you feel that, okay, you have done something bad, you have done something worse, and then you regret. But today, sitting here, when I look at those mistakes, I mean, do not feel that this was really bad or I don't regret about those mistakes. Reason being, I mean, we have to realize this one fact in life, that life is all about mistakes. I mean, if you don't make mistakes, it means that you are not doing anything new. If you are not doing anything new, it means that your learning process is not happening. So it is okay to make mistakes. In the moment, you can regret about it. But sitting here today, if we regret, I mean, I cannot change anything about it, right? But I would have definitely learned something from that mistake. So there are no regrets, only learnings for me.
Any moment in your career life, worst or best, you would like to share?
Best moment is like at this age or these many number of experience, I am heading one of the most important vertical in my organization. So probably I will term this as the best moment in my professional career till now. And there has been few worst moments as well in my career. I wouldn't be very specific about it, but many people will face that situation, that at one point in your career you feel that you can deliver more, you can do much better, but you could be stuck because of your existing boss, or let us say existing circumstances. So I had one such moment around 4 or 5 years back, when I felt that I could have done much better for the organization, have they been given me some other opportunity. And I also felt the same thing about my boss, that if let us say I would have somebody else at my boss at that time, then my performance or my delivery for the organization could have been much better.
What are your advice for students who have just finished their MBA and have come and started their journey, professional journey?
First of all, I would say that whosoever is actually getting passed out in this year, or let us say would have got passed out in the last year, they would have faced similar situation which, let us say, I faced in 2010 when we were just coming out of the recession. So right now, the most important thing is, first of all, get a job. We cannot have many choices in the job right now. We have to just pick something and get on a job. That is the first thing which I will advise. Other than this, if you have got a job, then other thing is basically you kind of need to invest a lot of time in improving yourself. Because I know that once we come fresh from MBA college, we are actually not truly employable, because we need to learn a lot of skills. We need to learn about customer, competition, product, processes of the organization, culture of the organization. So if we feel that within 1 year I should get few things which, let us say, will come with time, then it does not happen in that way, right? So we have to be like humble, grounded, patient, and we have to invest a lot of time in reading and acquiring new skills.
So what are do's and don'ts in the starting of professional journey?
See, as far as do's are concerned, so I think my last question answer that. We have to be extremely grounded. We have to be extremely humble. We have to kind of look forward to having some mentors in the life, in the early career, so that whenever we face any difficult situation or we are not able to understand anything, we always have these mentors to actually go to, and then we can share our issues and problems with them, and they can similarly advise on that. Other than this, never think that after MBA my education has finished. After that also, I think everybody should continue to work on many more certifications, because these days everything is changing so fast. So this is the third thing, that we shall continue to acquire more and more certifications, professional certifications, so that we can say that, okay, this skill I have acquired. So with changing time, this is very important. As far as don'ts are concerned, so I feel that we cannot be arrogant in the initial phase of our career, that I have learned so much and I have come from this college, because there are many people in the organization who are actually working for many years, and we have to respect that fact. Second thing is, there is no alternative to real life experiences. So for example, I have seen many people, they kind of want to develop a product without visiting the field and knowing about the customers. And on the other side, I have seen these Japanese people, even the senior most people, they will visit the field, they will meet the customers, they will observe them patiently, and they will come back with some insights. Okay, that's how we kind of need to develop a. So you will see in their engineering that how marvelous Japanese products are. Like for an example, Toyota. I mean, world's number one car company. And then similarly, we know Japanese for quality and reliability, right? So a lot of this feedback comes from customers. So we cannot say that, okay, everything I will do sitting in the office. If I get a chance to travel in the field, I must do that. I shall not sit in the company itself and think that, okay, I will develop products and services for the customer. Other than this, I think we have to be extremely cautious of what do we say in the initial months, because first impression is the last impression. So I have seen two kind of people. One kind of people, they actually share a lot of observations, they share a lot of comments. On the other side, I have seen some people who only make comments or observations once they are asked, right? So in the initial phase, I am pretty sure everybody does not know so much, so it is always better to keep quiet, observe, and if somebody is asking, only then make comments, because in your outright way of speaking a lot, you can make a bad impression in the very early phase of your career.
So now we will start our rapid round.
Yeah.
Favorite actor and actress?
I'm not a Bollywood or a movie guy, but still I liked Irfan Khan, and my favorite actress is Madhuri Dixit.
Favorite color?
Blue has been my favorite color.
Favorite destination?
My favorite destinations are actually in the hills, especially Himalayas.
Favorite car?
Again, I mean, I'm not a car guy as well, that I would have very specific liking for any car, but from engineering point of view, I really like Mercedes Benz.
Things in your wish list?
So my wish list is someday I want to do agriculture myself. Other than this, I also kind of want to track base camp of Everest. So these are two wish lists I have.
Dream house?
In the outskirts, a wood house, a bamboo house, nearby hills. So that would be my dream house.
One thing that you would like to change if you are provided superpower?
One thing which I would love to change about me is actually I would want to be a cricketer.
Second choice of career?
Would want to be an agriculturist and do farming.
Last question, one line that defines you?
I think I am a very passionate guy. If I like something, I always like. If I'm doing something, I put so much of energy, passion in it that I don't get tired. So if I have to work for hours and hours, I will work. If I have to work on Saturdays, Sundays, I will work.
Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure talking to you and knowing your life journey. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. In fact, if this conversation, if it can help some young students, young professionals, so I will feel privileged to have helped them in this manner. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.